voicemail of Truth and Reason. We always let our viewers voice what they have. Take a listen, voicemail of Truth and Reason regarding Baker Mayfield.
Yeah, hi, it's Bill from Santa Clara, California. A couple things about Baker. One is he's got a worrying trait where during running plays he runs behind the runner, usually Chubb, and not far away from the play, like maybe 5 yards at the most. He's running along with him, and I just worry that the opposing defenses are going to see a chance to hit him really hard. And the other thing I worry about with Baker is OBJ. You know, he's coming back. He's a wonderful receiver, but if he has too much influence on Baker, where Baker's always looking for him and waiting for him, because last year it screwed Baker up when OBJ was playing. It messed up his decision-making process. So I hope that this year that won't happen. And if it does happen, I'd get rid of him. Anyway, get rid of OBJ, obviously, not Baker. So there you go. Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right, Scott Petrak, just your reaction to those 2 points.
Yeah, I thought the first one was interesting. We've all seen Baker do that, and Baker kind of gets celebrated a little bit because he's following Chubb and he's celebrating. He's right behind him. He looks like he's running fast. But that probably leaves him somewhat susceptible. I haven't seen anybody take a cheap shot at Baker yet, so maybe Baker feels he's safe. And, you know, the defensive guys know better than to take a cheap shot because they could be penalized. But I wouldn't oppose to Kevin Stefanski or Stump Mitch or Alex Van Pelt saying, hey, why don't you just stay a little bit out of the fray there? Just better safe than sorry. I understand that argument. And then regarding OBJ, it's such a fascinating discussion to me because I understand that Odell probably influenced Baker in 2019 and maybe even the beginning of 2020 because Odell has that type of personality. Baker is such a young quarterback, especially when you look back at 2019. I never bought into the philosophy or the train of thought that Baker was better off without Odell because I think Odell is that talented a player, and I think he does so much for the offense, whether it's running deep routes that open things underneath or running the jet sweep action that opens things up in the middle for the run game. I just think you don't find players that talented, and I think you're almost always better off when you have talented players like that. Having said all that, I think Baker did benefit from having success last year without OBJ. Not that he wouldn't have had success if OBJ had stayed healthy, but the fact that Baker and the offense succeeded and went to the playoffs and won a playoff game in Pittsburgh without Odell, I think that gives a level of confidence to Baker and the rest of the offense, maybe even the coaching staff, that we don't have to force the ball to Odell and we're going to be okay. And I think maybe Odell sees that too and says, okay, they were okay without me. Let me just add what I can to this mix. And it can be great. And in some games it will be great, like that Dallas game last year. In some games it won't be because that's how it's going to work. And hopefully Odell is maybe matured a little bit in that regard. Not that, I've never had a problem with Odell since he's been with the Browns. I think he's been a fine teammate. I think Baker really enjoys him. I think a lot of guys really enjoy him. But I understand that thinking and how Baker maybe even subconsciously tilted the field toward Odell. And I just think a more mature Baker, a Baker who's had more success will be less tempted to do that.
Yeah, I would agree. And the only thing I would say about him kind of following behind Chubb, my guess is it's in case the ball comes out and he wants to maintain possession. That would be the only thing I would think he would be following Odell about.